Hey everyone, welcome back to Sold on Love from the Orange Chairs, where we talk about real estate, real love, and real life. I'm Paul, and this is my wonderful, amazing husband, Fernando.
Hi everybody. Together we are the Lord's Elder team, husbands, realtors, and business partners. In our podcast, we mix real estate tips with real life moments from our journey as a couple with a 30 years age gap.
Every time he
Working,
says,
living, and loving side by side.
Every time he says 30 years, I'm like, ugh. So whether you're buying your first house, buying another home, investment property, rental, whatever, or you just love a flat out good love story, there's something here for you. And thank you for joining us.
This is Soul on Love from the Orange Chairs.
So today's topic, we're going to talk about inspecting what you're expecting. That's a mouthful, but it's all about home inspections and sort of relationship inspections too, I guess, right?
Yes.
Making sure the designs of real estate and real life meet your expectations. But before we start talking this episode, why don't we give a quick update, maybe how was your week last week, Fernando?
Absolutely. Okay, so full of confession. I thought it was going to be a very relaxing week, but that didn't happen. And basically, it never happened.
It never does that. I feel like we say that every Sunday night. This is going to be our week to do X, Y, and Z. And by Tuesday, we're pretty much knee deep in inspections, showings,
Absolutely.
scheduling, staging, debating even whether or not we can get to the gym, what time we got to get to the gym, or our really most difficult debate, what is for lunch or dinner.
Yes.
It
So,
always
you
sneaks
know,
up on us.
I like to be busy, but sometimes I just want to chill, relax, and have nothing to do there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's basically what is Sundays for, but we have been really busy on Sundays.
We have, and I remember thinking back, you and I, what was the one rule we had? Do you remember? We had this rule that we weren't going to work on Sundays. Yeah, we screwed that up pretty
Yes.
fast. We just gotta work what we got. We gotta do
Well,
the thing.
work is important. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've had a really great response so far to our podcast, and we went into this not knowing what to expect and sort of how people would feel. But thank you for those of you that are listening, whether you're watching, listening, critiquing, laughing at us. We don't care. Just do us a favor. Please subscribe. That is really important for us so we can build up our base and make this worthwhile for everybody. So subscribe, listen, give us feedback. We'll take it all.
Yes, so today's episode is called Inspecting What You Are Expecting. Because whatever it is a home or a relationship, what to expect and actually you get could be probably different, But it doesn't matter because until you don't know, you cannot make it work.
Yeah, that's a great point. You kind of need to know what you don't know, and you don't know until you inspect, right?
Yes.
That's the way to look at it. So let's break this down for buyers. We're talking about obviously the home inspection. It's not a pass-fail test. It's rather more of a physical checkup on the house. And you're getting examined, making sure it's physical, checkup from head to toe. And the inspector is honestly just giving you a full kind of update of the health of your home. It's kind of how we look at it. And yes, just like me, if the home happens to be just a little bit older, the more that could possibly be wrong. And the way I look at it is nothing that a little nip tuck, a little spackle, duct tape or something you lift, tuck and hide, things can work out.
Absolutely. So what Paul was saying is true, And sometimes buyers panic because they see a long list.
Yeah.
But the report doesn't mean that it's a bad house. It just is showing you what are the things that are happening in the house, like how strong is the heart of the house.
Yeah, great. I agree.
I can put it like that,
No,
And the inspector is just going through their job. So if you see that long list, he's just doing his job. It's nothing to worry about. And you want to know as much as you can for your future home. And remember that knowledge is power.
Yes, it is. Well said. I was just thinking, you were just talking about what's wrong with the house or the heart of the house and things like that. And I agree completely. That's a great way to look at it. There's probably 6 important things to think about if you're a buyer about the home inspection, because it can be overwhelming. So let's go through the 6 things real quick. But one of them is, honestly, most homes have issues. I don't know how else to put it.
Yes.
Whether it's a brand new home or a 100-year home, they're gonna have issues. No home is perfect. What is minor, whether it's major, wear and tear is normal. Sort of like people.
Yes.
Right? I know you thought I was perfect when you met me, right? But I mean,
yeah, sure.
I mean, sure. Come on. All right. So you need to know that going in. There's going to be something wrong. The second thing is to focus on sort of the major components of the house. Things like the roof, the plumbing, the air conditioning or HVAC, the electrical work. Don't sweat the really small stuff. Don't let that get in the way of what you really need to make sure are the major issues, right? As I'm saying all of this, I'm just waiting. I can see in your face, you're like, yeah, Paul, like the fact that you don't leave me toothpaste, or, you know, I can already hear it. Don't panic over small repairs either. A cracked electrical plate or dented molding or just something that is so minor, don't let that get in the way, because you want to focus on, like I said, the really big components. Use the inspection, the fourth item, use the inspection to understand future costs. Just because it's not something that needs to be done today, if your inspector says, hey, you're gonna need a new roof in 5 to 7 years, you may be fine with that today, and most people would be, but you need to think about, is this something I'm gonna be able to saddle up for and do in 5 to 7 years? Good example of that. Number 5, bring a calm mindset. And that is easier said than done sometimes, because one, you really want the house, or you wouldn't have made an offer and gotten this far into it, right? So you're already feeling maybe a little anxious about, oh dear Lord, please let this go well. So just be calm, be mindful that, like I said, things are gonna happen. Don't run away, and understand it's just not going to be perfect.
Yes.
I don't know how else to put that. And finally, really important, have a really good agent to guide you through this.
That's the most important.
And that's us. We'll walk you through, we'll break it down for you. What are the things you really should be focused on, and what are the things that you should let go and not get in sort of, you know, in the way of your mind, right?
Yes. And this is just like in relationships. The inspection stage is about not walking away from the first imperfection that you find, you know, that you find out. It's like you have to see the whole picture,
Yeah.
like the full picture, you know, and you have to ask yourself, can I work with this, and is it worth it? So it will always be worth it, you know. So
I
just
agree.
give it a try.
And
Don't get scared for the inspection.
I am so glad that I haven't had any imperfections in our relationship.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because you haven't walked away yet. So I saw that eye raise. Anyway, that's a really good point, and you know, I love that answer. And listen, if you keep the house, right, you see all the imperfections, and you still say that's exactly what I want, congratulations, you found something completely worth building
Yes.
on, right?
So now let's talk about design, because I get so excited about this part. Sellers, if your home isn't ready for its close up, you are leaving money out of the table. So that is very important.
Yeah, I think that's worth almost repeating again. Your home has to be ready. Staging and design, and they're kind of the same thing. You could do elements of what design would be and what staging would be, but it isn't just fluff, it's strategy, right? It's making sure the house is ready. Is the home clean? Is it well lit? Is it thoughtfully arranged? You know, things like that make a difference. Is fresh paint needed? Get it done. And you know, things like that really make a difference.
So here are our tips for sellers. First, clean like your closing depends on it. What do I mean for that? Less is more. So clear the countertops, remove personal items. So give the buyers the option to see themselves in their new home or in their future home. That is one of the most important steps that a seller has to do. You have to remember, it's not your home anymore. You are leaving the house. You are giving out that space. So let the buyers see themselves in their new home.
That deserves a fist pump.
So, light and neutral always win. What do I mean by that? Open all the curtains in the house. Let the light get in, because natural light, when buyers walk in, they want to see how the house looks just with natural light, not with all the lights on. You know, so that is another important
I
step.
agree.
So
Definitely.
you can also have fresh paint if it's necessary, but use very clean tones like white or a very light gray. Don't use dark colors in the
Yeah.
house because that make the house look smaller.
Yeah. Good points.
Third, update what you can do is smart. Do the right things. Small updates. I'm talking about small updates, like handles, hardware, lighting fixtures, maybe a new mirror.
Yep.
Things like that can make a change.
Yep.
4, create intentional spaces. What do I mean by that? Create an spare bedroom. You can create an intentional office, a den or another bedroom. No with a lot of junk, have to be something clean, something that people can see in their future house. Like, oh, I didn't think about putting an office in this bedroom, but it's an office here. It works. Why not?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So also, the last one, number 5, use natural elements. What do I mean by that? Plants, flowers, wood trim with candles, something to warm up the space. That is very important to make it look like warm, welcoming, family oriented, like making it feel like home.
Yeah.
You don't want to see like just another house. You want it to make it feel like home.
Yeah, that is a fantastic point. All of those are super good. I just wanted to touch on 2 things real quick that you said. One was around moving stuff, and you couple that with saying, once the house is for sale, it's not really your home anymore.
Yes.
I mean, I recognize it is. I mean, we're not dumb, but at the end of the day, emotionally, it really isn't your home anymore. And
Yes.
your job is to get the buyer that comes in as a seller. You want them to see themselves in your space now. It's no longer your space. So that's really, really great point that I think a lot of people often overlook.
Yes.
So it's the cool thing about this this sort of advice you could almost kind of put on a relationship if you think about it. Remove emotional clutter, right? Try not to go into a relationship with a bunch of baggage.
Yes.
Really hard, but
I was just gonna say that is really hard.
really hard.
Like getting into a new relationship is complicated. Why? Because you already have your baggage, you already have your pain, you already have your trouble. So you are coming inside of a new relationship with all of this, and even when you try not to, it's impossible. But you have to learn how to leave that in the past. Like just like I was saying, when you are selling your house, it's not your house anymore. Emotionally, you have to leave that in the past. So in a relationship, it's the same. You have to leave that in the past because it's not the last relationship anymore. It's a new one. It's a new chapter in your life. The last chapter is in the end. It's finished.
Yeah, and
you are building a new one.
I agree. The cool thing is that you're always writing a new chapter. It's your book, so you get to tell the story how you want.
Yes.
Besides sort of removing the emotional clutter, just be honest, really be current, or not, I guess current, but really be focused on communication. I think that's incredibly important. And create intentional moments together, sort of like being intentional, what Fernando was talking about, a room. If it's a spare bedroom and you want to make it an office, be very intentional. Don't make it 4 different things in one.
Yes.
Either make it an office, make it a spare bedroom, but don't create it.
Don't create like a spare bedroom with an office.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Buyers a lot of times struggle with that, and it makes the space feel smaller versus maybe you're thinking multi-use, but it doesn't necessarily come off that way. So good points.
So let's talk about how culture shapes what we do. So for me, this is really personal, I guess, because growing up in Colombia, once for all family oriented, everything was around the family, the connection, the support, the friendship, and the love. It was always like that growing up, It was always like playing in the big backyard with my friends, with my cousins, with my siblings, share meals with my family, hear all the loud voices in the background because my family is very loud.
Yes.
Paul can say that my family is very loud. You can hear everybody like talking and you are thinking they are screaming, but they are not. They are just loud,
I have
So
to
also it was a lot of hugs And that is what home was for me.
Yeah.
So every time that I go there or we go there to Colombia, we always talk about our experiences when we were growing up and in the present, things in the future. We always make family reunions that is with a lot of family actually. That at the end it becomes like a big, huge party. And that is like the type of things that recharge me to come back to reality and keep going forward and keep moving forward and go working for my dreams and my goals. It's like family for me is like very important.
Yeah, I love that. And his family is nothing short of amazing. So everything that he said, that's exactly what happens when we go back. And I do remember the first time you took me there, I remember saying to you, is everybody mad at each other? Or I wasn't sure what was happening. They were just talking, it was no big deal. So it's not that I don't feel those things too, because I definitely grew up in a very close family also, but I have lived everywhere in the U.S. As you hear me say almost always, whether it was New York, Illinois, Florida, Kansas, Pennsylvania, I've just moved around a lot. And while homes are certainly important, I have learned that while I definitely want the right home for my family and whatnot, I have just learned that home for me is wherever you are, for instance, right? So it could be anywhere, and that's home for me. But on the real estate perspective, I too really worked hard to put my family in certain homes that I felt kind of created the environment you just walked us through.
Yes.
So we're very similar with that.
Yes, so I can say that sometimes I walk into a home, I already think like, wow, it looks beautiful, but where is the heart of the house? I want to feel something that makes me say, this is the home, this is home. And this is the place that I want to enjoy when I'm here, but also when I'm away, I can't wait to get back to my home.
Yeah.
So that is what I always think about. So let me tell you a little bit about a recent showing.
Mm-hmm.
I walked into this very nice place, and we were showing all the inside first to our clients, and the house was very nice, great home. And then when we walked to the back of the house to see the backyard, my impression was just like, wow, that was the heart of the house. The backyard for me make me like go back on time when I was growing up. It was like a big backyard, like beautiful grass, beautiful plants. But the most beautiful thing for me was a huge mango tree that it just made me remember when I was growing up and I used to play around with my cousins, because when I was growing up, my mother's house used to have like huge mango trees.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking and imagining myself there playing with my children in that backyard, just like when I was growing up. And that for me was like, this is home.
Yeah.
This is the heart of the house. This is where the value of the house is.
Now, do you see why I love him? I mean, you can't beat that story. And I remember that showing because the clients we were with, you have a connection with them too, because one of them too is from Colombia.
Yes, one of them is from Colombia.
Yeah, and so the story really resonated with her as well, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was
Because
awesome.
that's how we grow up in Colombia, In the past, now we have so much technology and children don't play outside anymore. So I guess I was the last generation of the last generation.
If they play outside, it's with their phone.
Yeah, so I was that last generation that I played with my cousins until I was like 14-year-old outside playing hide and seek.
Tag your head.
Things that, now I don't see that anymore. I try to when I go to Colombia make my nephews and nieces play with their phones all the time. And they're still doing it sometimes, but it's harder. It's harder.
It is. There's no question. We're actually very similar. I know there's 30 years between us, but I mean, my mother kicked us out at 9 o'clock and said, "Come back at dinner time."
Yeah.
And then if you weren't back by dinner time, you didn't eat. They didn't even come look for you. You just had to show up when you did. So, I focus on those things too. But I also, from a business perspective, obviously, I focus on sort of functionality and things like that. So. But together, it really does make us really stronger agents, though, when we both have those views.
So now let's talk about questions from real listeners. So these are some questions that some people have
asked.
asked. So
Yeah, let's ask away. So we had a couple of questions this week. And by the way, if you want to ask those questions, DM us. You can send us Instagram notes, however you want to do it. Put a comment on the review after you see the podcast, and we'll answer them. So the first one is, how do you know when it's the right time to buy?
you know, I would say any time is the right time to buy. Something that to have in mind is it would be the right time. It has to be the right time for you. You know, also it's like it has to be when your finances are ready, your heart is all the way in it, and you are ready for the commitment. Because home ownership is it's not just emotional; it's also financial.
Oh yeah.
So you have to have all the finance ready before making the move.
Yeah, and of course.
So you don't find before you continue. So you don't find yourself in a situation that you bought a house, but then you cannot afford the payments of this house.
Yeah, great point. No, I can't argue with that at all. And having, again, I'm doing a plug here, really good agents, us, what we can help you with that. We both understand that perspective really well, and trust your gut instinct too. You know, there's a lot of people out there on TikTok, anywhere else, that are going to say to you, "Don't buy now; the economy's going to crash," or "Don't buy in this area; don't buy in this area." I mean, it's just nonstop. And what I would tell you is seek professionals that know what they're doing versus, you know, some hearsay and things like that. So, next question. You want me to ask it?
Does staging really raise your home value?
Absolutely. Fernando just covered that in really good way, both in design and staging. It doesn't change the square footage, but it certainly changes perception.
Yes.
And that is half the game here. Stage homes often sell faster and more because people see the space and how it needs to be used. When we say stage, by the way, we don't necessarily mean the furniture has to be brand new and rich looking and opulent. It just means each space needs to be clearly defined, clutter-free, sort of dynamic in its look, so people can visualize, I get it, right? It doesn't have to be custom furniture and things like that. And again, a good agent will walk you through that, whether you're the seller or buyer. They'll help you understand each of those perspectives.
So I would say that this is like, think about it like it's dressing up for a date. You know?
Okay, I like that.
First impressions matter.
Yes.
So you want that your clients, the clients or the buyers, when they walk into your home, they say something and they feel something, you know, like, wow, this is beautiful, instead of not saying anything and not showing emotion. When that doesn't happen, there is something wrong.
Yeah, I agree. You don't want them to say, oh my God, look at this mess either,
Yes.
right? So, and listen, life happens all around us, so we totally understand that not every minute of every day is something going to be perfect, but directionally you want to be in the right spot,
Yes.
right? All right, so we've got a little surprise section for us that Fernando and I are going to try out. So we're going to ask each other questions that the other one hasn't seen. And he's going to see the question. You can, on his screen, you might see it right now, but he hasn't seen the question up until now.
Yes.
So, and he's done the same for me, and we did 2 questions. We probably did softball questions this time, but we'll see. So, with that, you go first.
I go first.
All right.
So, you don't know this one.
Okay.
So what is something I do at work that secretly drives you crazy?
I would like to plead the fifth, or refuse to answer it. I'm pretty sure whatever I say, I may have to sleep with one eye open tonight. So, got another question? All right, let me try. Generally speaking, nothing really annoys me at work. We're very focused, and you do a great job. If I had to pick one thing, I love you oh so much. That's all I wanted. If I had to pick one thing, I would say when you teach me things, you have a little bit of a short fuse.
I know that.
But it helped if I remind you how much I love you again.
Don't worry, we'll give you later.
Okay, well, that's great. All right, my turn?
Sure.
Okay, that wasn't too painful. What's the one thing I did this week that made you feel value or seen?
Okay, that I think that is easy for me because one of the things that you make me feel value and seen this week was you realized that I was overwhelmed, and without even me saying that I needed some space, you gave it to me, and you were there for me to support me, to understand, and you didn't need to ask how I was feeling, and that I was probably how you say that word.
Having a moment?
Yeah, I was having a moment,
I don't know.
and you just give me that space and let me go through my emotions, and everything was okay. So you saw what was happening, and you make me feel good about it.
Good. All right. I think you're up.
Yes. What's your dream home feature, not budget? I'm talking about the feature of the house, not the budget of.
Yeah, not the budget. Okay. God, I could probably go through a million things: rooftop garden, private elevators, all that good stuff. But for me, if I had to say the one thing I would love in a home is a chef's kitchen. As you know, I like to cook. So for me, it would be chef's kitchen, wine cellar, but mostly chef's kitchen.
Yeah, so you basically want a castle, my princess.
I do. I want
Yes.
a castle kitchen. How's that? Oh, I love it. All right, I got one more for you.
Okay.
Besides the obvious thing that I know you can tell me because you already talked about your family, what is the one thing that you really truly miss from Colombia?
Well, I think I have told you this in the past, and one of the things that I really miss about Colombia is the feeling of the genuine connection, with friends and family who love you for who you are, and not for what you have or for what you do. I miss having people in my life that they show up not just for the really good times, but they show up when you feel low, when you are not feeling yourself, when you need help. There is something special about being surrounded by friends and family that love you, and actually they don't need a reason to care, or they don't need a reason to be there for you. So in Colombia, you don't have to pretend or prove yourself to anybody. People is just there for you, your family, your friends, they are there for you, and that kind of love and connection is what I miss about Colombia.
I'm gonna throw one more at you that is not even coming. So, since you've lived in the U.S., what was the hardest thing or adjustment you had to go through moving to the U.S.?
I will say making friends.
Okay.
It's really difficult to make friends in Miami. I used to live in Miami, and Miami is a city that everybody knows this. It's a very pretentious city. Like, you have to be someone, have money, or offer something for people to notice you and to want to be part of your life. If you don't have them, it's hard to make friends.
Interesting. Okay, that was pretty thoughtful. That's interesting. All right, one more question and we'll close up. I saw you roll your eyes at me. I'm going to ask you one anyway. What is your favorite thing about being in the U.S. so far?
Oh my God. Well, my favorite thing about being in US have a lot of opportunities, but you have to work for those opportunities. It's not that they just come, they are for you, and you're gonna become rich. No, it doesn't work like that. And a lot of people in South America and other places of the world, they think that because it has more opportunities, you don't have to work for it. So I would say that I like about US, you have opportunities here.
All right, I love that. Okay.
So for our closing, we are getting to the end of this episode, right? And remember that in a house or in a relationship, the key is to inspect what you are expecting. So be honest about what matters to you. That is very important. So what needs to work, that is very important too. If you feel in your home something needs to be done because it's gonna be better, do it. But also in the relationship, if you are feeling something needs work, to make better the relationship, be honest with your partner and just say it.
Yeah,
You know, and also keep in mind what is worth loving is anyway, you know, what is worth, you're gonna love anyway.
yeah, I agree. And if it's worth it, you're going to work your butt off to
Yes,
make it happen, right?
absolutely.
So keep in mind, if you're buying, selling, need a new place to rent, want to do an investment property, whatever it is, we would love to be there to walk you through that journey. We've got a lot of experience between the two of us, and we really love what we do. So having an opportunity to show that to other people means a lot to us. So we appreciate you listening to Sold on Love from the Orange Chairs. Again, I said it earlier, but please, please, please subscribe. Share this with your friends and family on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, so we can pick up a lot more people to can kind of hear our story and get good feedback as well. Leave a review if you don't mind, and of course, continue to listen, watch, whatever it is. So thank you.
Absolutely. So see you next week. And remember, real estate is just like love. It's all about location, timing, and commitment. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, everybody.
Or week.
Yeah, whatever your schedule is, I hope it goes great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
That was good. Sorry for those questions, but I'm trying. You are so good when you are in the groove